Hi, I'm Colin, creator of the One Man Show. The show has been a dream of mine to do my entire life. We started off by doing it in my hometown, and now we get to travel the world to spread inspiration, motivation, and laughter through art. I've had a lot of dreams, and a lot of people support me, and we get to talk about it in the show, and it's pretty cool. But one person, undoubtedly my greatest supporter of all time, one of my best friends, and the person I love the most, Brian Bird, has been my biggest sense of inspiration through belief in me. Without him, the show and every movie and every book and every public speaking event we get to do doesn't exist. I love you, Brian. Happy birthday. And even though I made you pay me $50 not to do something like this, welcome to being my brother.
So fascinating to me. Dinosaurs, stuttering scientists, and the possibility of taking a gigantic animatronic dream and putting it on screen. If they can do that, then I can write any great thing and put it up on screen. But more importantly, the powerful stories I learned from a galaxy far, far away to a yellow brick road you can click your heels on and be home today. From a Princess Bride to a Narnia ride, a character starts at a point A in one world, has to get to point C in the next in order to save lives, encountering strong problems but even stronger friends. And that's how I learned to write movies. And at the core of these films is about second chances, grace, forgiveness. And finding that in forgiveness there is bliss. Bliss, good, and a one-day girl would be my Vincent. But more important, what I learned these days, when that magical stream came down to the screen, to this day, my favorite sight is seeing that object. But I learned, Dad, do you remember that? Do you remember that light? Remember the lesson I learned? I said, Dad, when the light comes down, nobody cares about my hair. Nobody cares that I can't fit in the chair. He said, of course, Colin. That's what movies do. They bring people together. I mean, that's what I got to do. I got to go to Hollywood. I got to study film. I got to study acting. I got to study writing so that I can write the best movies possible so that other people can escape their fat ball problems. I'm going to Hollywood, Dad, and I'm going to write movies that I'm going to be in. You remember what you said to me that day that actually changed my life? You looked at your fat ball 12-year-old son and you said, of course you will. You're Colin. You can do anything. Let's get you home, get you some toilet water. If you think that finding love in the Midwest is hard, let me tell you, dating in Hollywood is way more awesome. Now, Hollywood is a small town. Just like Hayes is a small town radius-wise. Not everyone knows everything about everything. But we get around, we see each other. Movie stars will tend to hide out when they're training for a film or people are writing a film, they'll hide out for a while. But when they make themselves public, I find them. Now here's something you might not know about famed actress Charlize Theron. All right. She's a globally renowned actress, globally renowned philanthropist. I'm not actually sure about that second part. I just need to say something nice before I get to the next thing. So she's very well known, very well respected. But what you don't know about Charlize Theron is she is a magnificent magician. And how I know that is when I'm in Hollywood, every time I walk into a room and she's there, poof, she disappears. Uncanny! I'm among common men. She can make thousands of dollars a year doing this, I'm telling you. But strolling down Sunset Boulevard one night with my friends, walking by this illustrious nighttime eatery, sports bar. Open the door, head on in, and there she is. And I'm thinking, all right, whatever happens next is completely her fault. When she came in here where my friends and I are, I mean, she should know, right? And my friends are back in the corner like, Bird, please no, please don't get us kicked out of here. No more banning, no more banishment, Colin. What am I going to do? Not talk to Charlize Theron or talk to Charlize Theron? So I kind of mosey on over and I'm like, hey, how's it going? Do I know you? Maybe you just got one of them faces. I think I know. Did we do time together? We did some community service over at the public library. No? Okay, food pantry. Exactly. I'm telling you, I know you. Because let me tell you, movie stars love that. They love it more than anything in the world. I know, you wouldn't think that they do, but they absolutely love it. When you go up to a movie star, where do I know you from? They love that. They love all kinds of things you wouldn't think that they love. I mean, dress up like a clown and drop down from a roof on them. Just, run away. They love that kind of stuff all the live long day. So I go up to her and I say, look, I'm kidding. I know who you are. I know Reese Witherspoon when I see her. I gotta take her down a peg. I walk away. I said, I'm kidding. Look, I mean, come on. I've been watching your films forever. I'm not saying you're old or anything, but I've been watching your films. I'm really winning this one. I've been watching your films forever. I know who Cameron Diaz is. And I just walk away, playing all coy. And I go back. It's third time's the charm. And I say, my friends are just sweating in the corner. I say, look, in all seriousness, I want to congratulate you on your recent Oscar. Because it didn't happen yesterday at the VFW, right? So I said, I want to congratulate you on your recent Oscar. And I said, I don't know if you can help but notice, but I kind of look like an Oscar. Just staring at me, starting to smile a little bit. I'm like, working my magic. And I said, now I don't know if you guys are fortune tellers, and I'm not usually the one to give away the ending to a story, but I don't know if you can see where this is going or not. I don't know how it ends up. I look at her, and I've got her in the palm of my hands, and I say, I look like an Oscar, and I couldn't help but notice that you went home with him that night. Punch, puke, run, and I chase, take off like a sweaty mongoose, like, you were great in Harry Met Sally! That didn't work out too well. Now I figured maybe I should find someone more of my own strength power. So my first job out of film school was Paramount Studios. Paramount, my home away from home. I love this place so much. Orson Welles said that the best toy a boy ever got was the studio. He's absolutely right. So I love going around. I'm tooling around in the mailroom, riding a bike, saying hi to everyone, and looking for love in all the studio places. And who do I run into? Tom Cruise. He's not who I dated, actually. He was his assistant. But Tom, talk about a guy, just like Charlize, has such presence, such powerful presence. Now, physicality-wise, let's say Tom is, and me, let's just say like if we were to play around at badminton, I'd probably be on I'd have a better playing field level than him. But if you were to accept the challenge of my duel. But Tom, but presence-wise, it didn't matter about stature. This guy's just got oozing out. We'd see each other all the time. We'd nod at each other like a couple guys who thought they were cool. One of them actually was. Don't pity him. And I'd be walking up to go see his assistant. He'd be walking out to go be the most successful person in the world. And I never forgot the first time that I saw him. I just nodded and smiled, and I walked away and I said, wow, I make $7 an hour. I turned back and I used that $7 in the couch cushions that I found to take the assistant out. So we go out to the place about a block away from where Charlize Theron broke my ribs. And we're standing with all these producers by this dance floor. And this is my moment. Out of the mailroom, I'm going to impress everybody. Not by dancing. But she says, come on out to the dance floor. I'm like, no, you do not want me out there. This is my moment. The producers, all Cruise's people are there. She's there. I'm in. I'm one of the boys now. And all I got to do is get out on the dance floor. So I got one moment to shine. All right, here we go. Okay, I got this. I'm horrified. Music started to sit in, and I remember, I've got one dance move in life. It's called the Great White. Now there are two variations to the Great White, or two key elements. One, the feet don't move and the hips don't lie. So I start doing my move. Yeah? Ladies, right? It's not working. It's not working. Okay, switch to the second variation. I call this the Great White Distance. And I crane my head back over. She's bolting out the door. What are you doing? I can't stand here by myself. But these producers who now are horrified by me, I run out the door. She's getting in her car. Come on back. She smashes the car into someone else's car in the parking lot. Lo and behold, turns out she's from a different country, Canada. And over the LA driving laws, she doesn't have insurance. She's not registered. She's going to get deported. So she can't come to work. She's got to take care of it. So the joke around the studio lot the next day was, hey, call over to Cruise's production company and see if he answers the phone because he's got no one to answer. They're calling, this is Tom. No, he didn't, because he's too big for that. So so Tom Cruise is ticked off at me. Everybody's getting mad at me in Hollywood. And man, I'm still heartbroken. So I do the most logical, responsible thing I can think to do, and I go on a date with an actress / psychic. So this just has success written all over it, right? It's Christmas time in Hollywood, and my favorite thing to do is during the holidays is stroll on down to the Scientology building. That's not actually the joke part yet, but what they do with the Scientology building, I don't care about theology or radioactive science fiction, whatever they believe. But we go down there and they have a festive time where they put all the snow, and they have the fake snow and the fake Santa and the cookies, and the tourists come by, and I love it. I love it. And this is the first and only time in my life that I ever saw a ghost. Now, I tell this story and people get interested immediately. And then I followed up with, my date and I were drinking eggnog from 10:35 a.m. Pacific time until the part that we got there. And they said, oh, you're full of crap. No, we saw a ghost. And I'm thinking, hey, I'm a Midwest guy. I like eggnog. Eggnog, strength, nourishment. It's helping me fight the twinkle ghost. So we head on down to the Scientology building. We get there and say, hey, whoa, we're on enemy territory before we go in here. And she says, why? Because you're a Christian and they're Scientologists? I said, no, because Tom Cruise specifically hates me. And if we get busted in here, they're going to taser us. She says, yep, okay, let's go. So we go in, it's festive and wonderful, but that's not good enough for me. No, we gotta crawl, we're going under Santa's sleigh, we crawl down in the fake snow, we go under behind where all the gear and the sound equipment is, and we sneak on the L. Ron Hubbard building, this giant brick wall, and we sneak over here, and I'm like, look, a dark corridor, we're going down. So we start crawling along the wall like a couple of escaped convicts, get down these stairs, go down into the cement hell, and wandering around this maze. Now, L. Ron Hubbard used to have these, well, he still does, and we just encountered one, these giant tunnels that go under his buildings for all his infidelity way. We can judge him in full of it because us Christians have never done anything bad. So, so we encounter one of these tunnels. Now we walk up and there's this plywood. Looks like someone went to Home Depot, spent $1.92 on it. Plywood, and we push on it, and we're standing down there, and we hear this voice coming at us. It says, it's time for you to go now. Okay, sounds good to me. So we jump back, and we take off running. Now, and I said to her, wait a minute. That wasn't in English, was it? And she said, no. And I said, okay, well, how did we know what they were saying? It wasn't in any language, but both of us knew that this thing said something to us that said, it's time for you to go now. She said, well, let's get out of here. I said, no, I want to go back and see where that is, because, I'm a genius. So I go flying back, and I look down, I take my cell phone light, and I shine it right down here, and whoa. She comes back, what's wrong? I said, all right, I'm going to shine my light down, but don't freak out, okay? So I shine the light down, she just immediately freaks out, jumps back, and she says, okay, where did we hear that voice from? Right here? Right here. Yes, absolutely. Okay. And we shine the light down, there's a 14-foot drop. So whatever was talking to us, telling us kindly to leave, was hovering there. So we run back up those dark stairs in the cement, crawling back up like they reverse escape convicts, back down into the snow, back outside into a winter wonderland, holding each other fiercely. This geriatric-looking security guard comes bumbling over all cocky and says, so you were the two who were down there. How did they know we were down there? There's no lights, completely dark, there's no cameras. And so I'm holding her really tight, not as a protector. I'm kind of moving her like this toward him in case she turned into a lizard or something. And then we bolt out of there, screaming down Hollywood Boulevard. She says, we got to go back tomorrow. We got to go back and see what that was. I said, heck no, I ain't going back there, not with you. I'm a trainer at the time at the Hollywood YMCA, a couple blocks away. I said, well, let's go get all my big trainer friends, and we'll head back the next day with some blowtorches and chainsaws and see what that thing was. Thus, the impetus to my fourth movie upcoming, Holiday Death Santa. You're welcome in advance. That didn't work out too well either. So, which I don't know why, because I would tell her all the time how handsome I am. I honestly didn't know what the holdup was. And well, I think the problem was that I told her that we'd have a long, loving life together. Darn psychics. So I'm still heartbroken. I go about a block over to the famed Sid Grauman's Chinese Theater. And we're there that night for a double feature film called Grindhouse. Alright, so now I'm heartbroken, my career's in the dumps. And we go in there, and there's a movie called Grindhouse that a gentleman named Quentin Tarantino wrote and directed with his friend Robert Rodriguez. And we're there at the premiere. Tarantino's over here, and I'm over here. And all the stars are there, at least most of them. Now, a thing happens at these movie premieres. I never stay and watch the movie. I mean, I write movies. I don't need to stand there and watch them. So all I do is I'll hang out in the lobby or down in the bathroom. I just realized how that makes me sound. But it works. I'm not interested in watching the movie. I can get that on DVD. What I'm interested in is talking to people who share a similar passion and fire that I do, to work so hard and toward their dreams, and they actually make it and make an impact in the world. That's what I'm interested in. So I'm hanging out down in the bathroom, and Tarantino's down there, and he's a little juiced up. So his friend Lawrence Bender, his producing partner, they're really good friends. And he's a good guy. We've run into each other a few times. He's from Illinois, so, icebreaker. We're having a conversation. They said, yeah, well, meet us after the show. We'll talk. I'm like, this is awesome. Okay, so we go upstairs. It's time to go back to the movie. unbeknownst to me, my friends have brought in their own version of eggnog. And so Tarantino and Bender are over here with the rest of the cast and crew. I'm about 2 seats away. I walk over. Now there's this thing called audience participation. If you were to watch that DVD extra, you can click on the DVD extra and it'll say audience participation. And what they did was they filmed us that night for the premiere, and you can hear all of our reactions. And if you listen closely, here's what you'll hear. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Tarantino, Bender over here, me over here. Not knowing my friends have snuck in their version of eggnog. Bump, clank, hey, ow, crap. Roll, 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 roll. And thus, my introduction to my first Tarantino film. I was so excited to see them afterwards. But then, this girl, this Australian angel shows up. Zoe Bell. She's one of his favorite actors, and she's a stunt coordinator in all of his films, and the stunt actors, you can tell. And I see her, and she's just looking at me with such love in her eyes, and I know that she senses destiny, and she's coming my way, and by that I mean I'm going right toward her, and she's trying to head toward the exit. But I've been through the ringer, man. It's time. It's time for me. So I said, this is the right one. Don't mess this up. I walk right up to her, and I say, Zoe Bell, will you marry me? She says something other than yes. Didn't even say thank you. And then I spend the whole time trying to pull myself out of that grave. And then I look and I see Tarantino and Bender leaving. These guys are premiere for their own movie and they're going back to work on the next one. I love that kind of work ethic. I love that kind of drive. But here I am, caught up in the notion that I have to be in love. That I have to have a counterpart. That works so well for some people. But obviously at this point in my life, that's not what's supposed to happen for me. And it wasn't supposed to be then. But I got caught up in all this drama, emotional, I've got to be with someone kind of stuff. I need a counterpart. I wasn't happy with who I was, so I was trying to find it in somebody else. I know I sound like the script of Jerry Maguire, but... So basically we're just going to do a real quick, this will be like 30 seconds, and we're going to talk about the windy stuff. I'm going to give you directions, so it's going to be like a blooper. Okay, you guys ready? Alright, so talk about Wendy. Say in Spanish, say we're coming for you, Wendy.
Estamos viniendo por ti, Wendy.
Tell her that the gnomes know where she sleeps.
Sabemos dónde duermes, Wendy. Los gnomes, vamos con la nave a donde duermes.
Say, SpaghettiOs are waiting for you in the spaceship, Wendy.
Los spaghettios te están esperando en la nave.
Oh my god. Okay. Alright, ask her if she prefers Thousand Crunch or Three Musketeers.
Para saber, ¿prefieres el Thousand Crunch o los Tres Mosqueteros?
Okay. Let's say it does. Say it doesn't matter because the gnomes are going to kill you.
No importa porque te vamos a matar.
Alright, we're good.